Hey everybody, Krysten Jansen here, online fitness coach for the Natty Hour. Thank you all so much for tuning back into my channel. As promised, today we are going to talk about my training routine.
I've been doing things that they told me I should never do. I've been doing things that they told me I could never do now. Never do, I could never do. I've been looking back and I'm the only one who ever knew. My dreams begin to turn out.
Love it when fitness people say this, but it's true. I've been getting a lot of questions lately. Actually, I've only been getting maybe a handful of questions lately in regards to how I'm setting up my training split. A lot of these questions are arising from Instagram because I have been sharing my workouts on my Insta stories and people are a little bit confused with how I have set up my training program. So I'm just gonna dissect how I've set up my training program right now that I am officially training 100% again. We got squats, we got deadlifts, we got bench back into the training mix. Not at full capacity, but they're back in there. So people are asking how I have set up my training program because it does seem to be just a little bit random, but I'm just gonna break it down for you all as to why it's set up the way it is and my rationale, so you can maybe use some of my thought process with how I've set up my training program for yourselves, so you can set up your training program that's gonna fit best for you. But please don't take this as an optimal training program for your schedule. This is what works best for me, and I have spent a lot of time dissecting what works for me, what doesn't work for me, and my training program is built around that. So let's get into it. Hopefully you guys can see everything here. Okay, so we are doing a 6-day training split. So we got and 6. So I'm training 6 days a week as of right now. And what I am trying to do and what I've been paying attention to is making sure that for each muscle group, I'm getting at least 10 working sets in, and I am actually getting up to about 40 to 50 working sets on legging muscle groups or muscle groups that I am working on. So day 1, we are doing a full body, and it is with an upper emphasis. Day 2, I am doing a full body with a lower emphasis. Okay, so the first 3 days I have major emphasis on, and the reason for that, I'm just gonna move over here. The reason that I have put a higher emphasis on my upper, lower, and hamstrings in the beginning of the week is just because I have found that for myself that I have the most energy at the beginning of the week. Therefore, the areas that I am wanting to work on, I have major emphasis on in the beginning of the week. So for myself, I really enjoy doing a couple of full body days. I find them to be extremely taxing at times. Again, that is why they are at the beginning of the week. And I do a higher emphasis on upper body here and a higher emphasis on lower body there, just so I can just get a good range between the two areas that I am working on. So with my emphasis on my upper body on day 1, I am doing the majority of shoulders and back in the beginning of that day, and then I am finishing out that day with some quad emphasis exercises. So that leads into day 2, where I do another full body day. The first three to four exercises, I am focusing on my lower body, and then the rest of the day I am finishing off with, again, some upper body exercises. So these 2 days are kind of staggered, so they're a little bit different, so it doesn't feel like they're two similar days. And then we move on to day 3. So these first 2 days here, even though they are lower body and we're hitting lower body again, I have kept these 2 days more glute and quad dominant exercises so that my hamstrings aren't super fatigued by the time I go into day 3. So this is strictly just a hamstring focused day, and I am doing a little bit of core work and some calf work in there as well to finish off the day. Then we move on to day 4. So these last 3 days, upper, lower, upper, aren't really emphasis on anything in particular. what I have done in a spreadsheet for myself and what I do for all my clients is I keep track of how many working sets that I want to hit for specific muscle groups. So for calves and for abs, I am making sure that I hit a minimum of 10 working sets. I think I'm doing the same thing for chest as well. I think I have 15 working sets, and those are sprinkled throughout the entire week. The muscle groups that I am hitting, that's why I'm able to do upper, lower, and full body days. As long as I'm hitting my prescribed working set count for the week, it's okay to separate it out and split it up like this versus doing an entire shoulder day where maybe I have 20 working sets that I want to hit through the week. Hitting those all in one day, I find that it really reduces my strength and my performance versus splitting up those 20 working sets over multiple days versus doing it in just one day. So I'll get into that maybe in just a second here. So day 4, just an upper body day. Day 5, lower body, and day 6, upper body. And I've set this up so it's lower upper for a reason. And for right now, because of my schedule, I'm having to go to the gym on day 6 super early in the morning. And I'm not gonna lie to you all, I actually really hate training lower body. I'm not motivated to do it, even though I am training it quite frequently because I need to actually grow that area. I have no problem putting muscle on my upper body. Lower body, it is very, very much a struggle. So because I know this about myself, because I am aware of that, I am more likely, not that I would skip a workout, but I am more likely to skip a workout if I have to get up super early to go train legs on a Saturday morning. Not something I really want to do. So because of that, I made sure that on Saturday mornings, I'm training upper body day because there's no fresh shot in hell I would ever miss an upper body day. And it gets me more motivated because I enjoy training upper body day. I'm gonna jump out of bed in the morning and get her done, you know what I mean? So that is why I separated it out like that. So now I'm just gonna quickly show you guys how I have sprinkled out my prescribed working sets so I can ensure that I'm getting enough volume. So if you wanna set something up like this for yourself, you can. You don't have to stick to a back and bi day, chest and tricep, arm day, leg day. You can split it up like this if you'd wish. So I would recommend for each muscle group, shoulders, biceps, triceps, chest, quads, hamstrings, glutes, calves, abs. For every single muscle group, you want to prescribe a working set count. A minimum you want to try to have is 10 working sets throughout the week. So depending on areas that you want to improve on, you're going to increase those working sets over time. This is a great strategy for you to improve your progressive overload. Again, so you're lifting more over time. But if you're just starting out, just aim to have 10 working sets for every single muscle group. And every single time you change up your training split, so every 4 to 8 weeks or so, then you want to try to increase the amount of working sets from 10 to maybe 12, 12 to 15, 20 to 25. And you probably are gonna find throughout the week, once you've gotten up to 6 days, which you don't have to do whatsoever, most of the time doing up to maybe 30 to 40 working sets is a sufficient amount of volume where you don't have to do much more than that. Okay, so I'm just gonna show you guys how many working sets I've prescribed for myself. Okay, so we have quad, bicep, and you guys don't have to be this specific. You can simply say arms. You can simply say, you don't have to put abs and calves in there if you aren't actively trying to grow those areas. I find that I skip abs and calves very easily, so I have to put them in here to hold myself accountable. So that's why you will see calves and abs in here. You don't have to put those in there if you can naturally just train them whenever you want, but I don't train them, so I need to put them in there. Okay, so for quads, I am hitting 30 working sets a week. Triceps, I'm at 10 because I hate triceps and I'm trying to increase it. Chest, I'm just starting to train chest again after my back injury, so I am gonna be increasing that slowly over time. And calves, I did 20 because my calves suck and I am very motivated to grow them, so I train calves quite a bit lately. Okay, so with how I have these separated out, these working sets, when I built my training program, I make sure that I sprinkle them, like I said, throughout the entire week. So for example, so day one, I think there's about 6 sets of quads here and 10 sets of shoulders here, whereas here I have another 5 sets of quads and 4 sets of back and 3 sets of shoulders, and here I have 10 sets of hamstrings, and you can see how I sprinkle that throughout the week. So if you want, you can do it like that, or you can separate it out so that you are doing it in a more bro split if you want. I'll quickly show you what that looks like. So if you don't want your training split to be like mine, maybe you want to do a push-pull legs. A lot of people, that's a very popular split, and it's a very practical and optimal split. So if you do push, pull, legs, push, pull, legs. If you want, for push day, you can easily split this up, right? So if you have a goal of doing 10 per week, you can do 10 chest exercise because that's a push movement, right? You can easily do 5 sets there and 5 sets there, right? Same thing for back. So what did I say for back? I'm doing 30. So, I mean, see how that can be a lot? If you want to do 15 sets of back there, so if you do 5 sets of 5 for dumbbell rows, if you do 5 sets of bent over rows, and then you do 5 sets of inverted rows, there's your 15 sets on day one, and then you do another 15 sets there. Same thing, right? So for legs, if you really want to grow your legs like I am, doing them 2 days a week versus 4 days a week, that's a lot of volume in just one day, right? So if you do 30 sets of quads throughout the week, hamstrings are 30, so we do 15 quad, 15 hamstring. Same thing on day 2, 15 quad, 15 hamstring. And then we have glutes in there too. Holy shit. Ah, wrong one. 15 glute, 15 glute. So you see how you can separate this out? So be creative with it. Like, figure out how many working sets you want to train throughout the week and just pick your training program, build your training split based on that. I have found that to be extremely helpful for me to make sure I'm getting enough volume, and it gives you an opportunity to be creative so you can kind of play with which muscle groups you want to pair up throughout the week, so it's going to work for you and your schedule. So I think I'll leave it there. Hopefully that gives you guys something to think about, and if you have any questions about setting up your own training split, I would love to help you out. I love this so much. Doing training programs is so much fun for me. It's probably my favorite thing to do as a coach. So if you have any questions of your own, if you're setting it up yourself, or if you just want to send me an email, Krysten@TheNattyHour.com, I would love to give you guys some guidance. This stuff is so much fun for me, and it gives you an opportunity to be creative. All right, I hope you guys found this video helpful. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you all in the next one.
You just leave this up to me. I can show you my world.